Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Eric slash Maximilian's solo campaign, episode 9. When last we left off, we were in the cave with our newly found Void's pet, companion, whatever you want to call it. We stay there for 3 days training and talking with it. And throughout those 3 days, we realize that if this creature has been living in this cave this whole time, then this must not actually be the creature that those two kids let loose. So we are going to decide today to go back to town, and as we are walking back through the forest the way we came, nothing really exciting happens. The forest hasn't shifted yet because it hasn't been a month. Every month the forest shifts around. And as we get back home to our village, we'll say the Void's creature decided to stay in the cave, and we will go and visit him whenever we have the chance, and he will continue to stay and live within the forest. And as we get home, our mother and father start to get excited and overwhelmed with both happiness, rage, and sadness, because we've been gone for 3 days and no one knew what happened to us. The only thing they knew was Father sent us into the woods to try and get information on the beast that was terrorizing people, and we didn't come back for 3 days. And that is where we will pick up, with us eating dinner and going to bed. And as we wake up in the morning, our father says, "Today we are going to go into the woods together with a friend of mine to search for this beast. I've been given a job as an adventurer through the Magic Guild to hunt it down and bring it back to the academy, so that next month you guys can all take your tests." Alright, and as our father says this, we were going to look at him and say, "Do we really have to go? I don't really want to look for this monster again. I'd rather just relax for the day and do my regular training. Can I help you look for it tomorrow if you don't find it?" And our father says, "That's reasonable," and he goes off on his way. And as we are sitting there eating breakfast with our mom, we get everything finished, help her clean up, and then we go outside and we start our training for the day. So first we do our 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sword swings, and 100 shield bashes. And then we ride the horse around, practicing going around things and having it jump over things, and practicing drawing our sword while on and swinging at a dummy. And as all this is going on, our mother calls for dinner, and so we stop and we go and eat. And then after we eat, we do some night training where we sit and we meditate on our aura, thinking about our mana within us and the mana around us in the world and all around, as we focus on it and try and practice our natural abilities that we have been born with, that we realized we had for the first time the other day, which was summoning that crow. We're trying to focus and learn how to do that consciously. And as we image it in our head, it slowly starts to manifest within the world as mana begins to collect and gather in front of us and take the form and shape of a crow. And as it takes the shape of a crow, our vision gets black and blurry, and then all of a sudden we see the tree line from a shorter distance than what we're used to. And we can see like the bottom of the trees and like all the bugs on the ground and how long the grass is and stuff like that. As this happens and it's hard to focus, our vision snaps back as the crow looks back at us and then nods before the mana dissipates and wisps and whispers and disappears. And we pass out from the strain and use of our mana. And then in the morning, we awaken to our mother saying it's breakfast and your father has captured the beast with his adventuring party. And because they were able to get the beast back sooner than expected, the Magic School Academy trials will begin at the beginning of next month instead of the end of next month. And so with this information, we are told that we need to get our bags ready because it takes about 3 weeks to walk through the woods to the school, and especially if you want to get there while you have a map of this path before it shifts again. And so we are told that today, since we trained yesterday, we can relax today before as we pack everything up and get ready to head out to our entrance exams. And so we will just relax for the day and hang out and chill, doing not really much except working around the house. We'll do our basic workout, and then we'll go to bed early, and as we wake up, we will be woken up by our Father saying, "All right, Maximilian, it's time to get up, and it's time for you to go and learn how to be a great wizard, something I could never do, something that your mother and I want for you greatly. Wizards are needed in this world, for most of us can harness the power of magic for our class abilities that we're born with. But most people within the world can only harness or can't harness their mana to use spells. Very few people, probably about 20 to 30% of the world's population, are able to do such a feat. And we hope you are one of them. Even if not, going to the academy and learning about magic and practicing mana control will benefit you greatly if you decide to come and join the guild with me when you are older and become an adventurer. Mana control is very important, so you don't exhaust yourself in the heat of combat and leave yourself or your allies vulnerable. And as our dad is going off on this tangent, we are getting our bags ready, and as we go to walk by, we put our hand on his shoulder and say, "It's all right, Father. We'll be okay." And as we walk by him and we go and sit down and eat breakfast and then grab our bag as we walk outside, our dad walks out with us and he says, "I would like to introduce you to your party members." And I'm getting their stuff out right here. Alright, so these kids, teens, were all about 14 to 15, because magic school is 4 years, and it will end, if we graduate, we will graduate around 18 to 19, and then we can go and join a guild and become adventurers from there. And so our party is a party of 4, if I remember right. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 party members. And as our dad, says these are going to be your party members, the school appoints every village kids that are signing up together to groups of between 3 and 5 to be parties to learn at the school and do quests and adventures and tasks and assignments and tests and bunk all together. And so these 3 or 4 are the ones the school has chosen to be your companions. Hopefully you all get along. I would like you all to go around and introduce yourselves, our father says. And one of them looks up because he's short and he's wearing leatherish armor that's kind of dark blue, and he's got 2 daggers on his hips with red hair. And he looks up and he says, excuse me, I almost had to yawn. He says, I am, where'd my name list go? Finland. And I have already been told what my class is because my parents own a magic crystal ball that reveals what everyone's born with. For my mother is a teacher at the school, and my dad is an adventurer. It's nice to meet you all, and I hope we can get along and have a great 4 years together. And then the next one is a girl named, where's the letter? Right here. Let's see. Gracia. That's a pretty cool one. Gracia. And she is wearing kind of a classic witch's outfit, but it's a deep tree bark brown with a green, a leafy dark green trim, and she has a staff with what looks like to be a little dog companion or something next to her. And then the third one, he looks like a knight. He's wearing a breastplate that is silver with leather armor underneath, and he's got a sword and a shield, and he has a horse next to him, and then he's holding the reins of, and we'll say his name is Alex. Alex. Alright, got that. And then number 4 is, he is kind of tall, he's tall, and he's got long hair and pointy ears with one blue eye and one green eye, and he introduces himself as, let's see, Folix, the half-elf. And the second he says that, everyone looks at him and just begins to laugh, including my father, because elves haven't existed in this world for thousands of years, let alone a half-elf. No one's ever heard of that, not even thousands of years ago when elves did roam the world. A half-elf isn't, what is that? There's no legends, no nothing. A half-elf has literally never been heard of before. So everyone thinks he is joking and starts cracking up laughing and thinks he's quite good at telling jokes and just thinks he's eccentric and likes to wear pointy ears and be funny. And that makes my character immediately more calm and at least relaxed around Folix, and find him to be at least a little humorous, and we'll see where it goes from there. And then Gracia, she seems like she's going pretty polite and very manner driven. Finland seems like he's the type that just likes to pick a fight, and Alex seems like the quiet type that doesn't like to speak up much. But that's just our first impressions, and we are going to introduce ourselves. Hello, I'm Maximilian. This is my dad. He's an adventurer. And they all say, of course we know who your dad is. He's Darius the Dragon Slayer. And as they say this, we look at our dad and say, you have the Dragon Slayer title? I didn't even know those things still existed. And our dad looks down in ashatement and says, they did. And then as he says that, and then he like shakes it off and gets, back into a positive mood. He slaps us on the back and he's like, all right, it's time for you guys to head off. The woods are dangerous and you need to get there before they begin to shift at the end of the month. So, good luck to you. Come visit me and your mother when you have holiday. And other than that, I hope you become a great wizard, my son. And we will see you soon. And he heads inside. And as he heads inside, and we are off on our adventures. And we're going to head into the woods, and we'll chit-chat and talk and learn about the others. And they're also from the village, but like us, they are from the 4 other royal families within the village. And so we've never met because all the royals' children are subjugated to their families' special training before their academy days begin. And so, as we learn that we're all the children of the 5 royal families within Oak Village, we realize that, well, this is obviously why excuse me. And this is obviously why they put us all in a group together. And so as we get about here, nothing exciting has happened, but once we get to here, this is where that cave is, where the Void's creature is, the Vine Wreath Voids that we befriended. And as we get to here, we can see that there are some dead wolves outside the cave. Oh, excuse me. About 3 of them. And they're all torn to shreds with their throats torn out and their fur all clawed up and ripped up and patchy. And as we all notice this, the other 4 Finland gasps because he's never seen anything like this, and he's jolts and jumps. Huh, what's all this? Why are there dead wolves in the woods? What could kill 3 wolves? And then Gracia will look and go, oh, calm down. It's probably just a bigger wolf. And then Finland and will go, that's not comforting. And Felix will say, my parents say a great green beast lives in these woods. And Alex just remains silent while he's listening to everything. And as everyone's done speaking, Alex will say, I think Felix is right. I've seen things in these woods when my dad's brought me here for training before. it's always a big green spot that comes into our vision and then just disappears. And there's always something left dead in its trail with bites taken out of it. Excuse me, I keep yawning. And as we are listening to all this, we're sitting there thinking to ourselves, we're pretty sure that the Vine Wreath Voids is the one that did this. He probably killed him and is leaving him out here to eat later. And he's also probably the one that Volix's family is talked about in legends, and the one that Alex and his father have seen like vanishing in and out of their sight in the woods. And as we are all trying to like calm Finland down from like panicking and freaking out, it's too late, as the noise from him screaming and throwing a commotion and panicking attracts a group of 3 rose thorn snakes. And let's see if I can show you what the rose thorn snakes look like. If I can get it to... There we go. There's the rose thorn snakes. Get it back on our map. There we go. And the rose thorn snakes come out from around this corner right here. And as they come out from around this corner and like slither up and over the wolf corpses, they are going to attack. One of them is going to spend all 3 of his combat points to attack the nearest one to him, which is Finland. And Finland's armor is, let's see, number 1, he's got 20 armor. And the snake, let's see, rose thorn snake, what's its base attack? Is +3. So it rolled a 2 + 3. That's only 5. So its first bite misses. So it's going to go for a grapple. 3 + 3 is 6. Its grapple misses, and it's going to go for another bite. 15 + 3, 15, 6, that misses. So as the first snake slithers up and over the wolf bodies and comes and tries to take a bite, and wrap around small little Finland, he is able to move and duck and weave out of the way, since the snake is actually like way bigger than him. These snakes are large size, so they tower over us as we don't notice it at first because they're slithering on the ground. They just look like they're really long. But as the one comes and like goes to come up to like slam down and wrap around Finlix, we notice how really big they are, as it's probably about 7 or 8 feet long by about 3 to 5 feet wide, as it comes up and slams down and misses, and he rolls out of the way. And then the next one is doing the same thing. It's coming up and coming over, and it's gonna try and attack Gracia. Let's see, that's Gracia's armor. Let's see, she has an armor of 18, so 15, 16, 8. Okay, that's exactly her armor. So she gets hit with a grapple and takes 1d12. Oh, come on, dice. Come out of... There we go. Alright, so that is 11. And then she becomes grappled. And then the thorn... yeah. And then... Yeah, so she is grappled. Let's see, that is... Alright. And then, as she gets grappled, he's gonna bite down oh wait, wrong one. That's another 18. So he hits her with a bite for a d6 as he wraps around her. The thorns that protrude from the scales pierce into her skin, and she starts screaming in pain as her clothes begin to get shredded, as he is squeezing and wrapping around her tighter, and then comes down and at the one bites into goes to bite into her shoulder, but she like flails and throws her arm up, and he like bites into her arm, and she screams in pain. And as this happens, and we're seeing this, we start to get overwhelmed with the feeling of anger and hatred and revenge. And as these feelings overcome us, our eyes go black and our vision goes blurry. And when this happens, we don't know what happens next, other than we wake up and we are covered in blood, and well, not wake up, but come to, and we're covered in blood with Gracia in our arms, and Finland, Alex, and Folix shaking us, trying to like snap us awake. And then they explain to us what happened. And so now we'll finish and see what happened. As we get angry and blackout, our crow is summoned, and our crow flies forward using one of all three of its combat points to activate its gravity entanglement, smashing a crater into the ground directly targeted, on all three of the snakes, dealing 4, and then where's my crows? He's got a plus 12, so dealing 16 damage to all of the snakes as they get smashed into the ground. And as they get smashed into the ground, they all start to like hiss and like squeal in pain. And so that's 4 for the first so 16 for the first damage. That's a 6, so 18. And that one's a 9, so 21. Alright, and as that happens, and they smash and scream and like spit out blood and explode from impact from the crater, getting crushed and hit in the ground. That is when we walk over and we pick up Gracia, and then we go and begin to walk towards the cave. And as we begin to walk towards the cave, that is when the other 3, Finland, Alex, and Folix, begin to try to snap us to come to. And as we come to and they explain to us what happened, we look down because we didn't even realize she was in our arms. And as we look down and realize that she's in our arms and her clothes are all torn up, and we get super blushy and embarrassed and almost drop her, and then we catch her again and apologize as we close our eyes and try to look away, and as we carry her into the cave, and the others are freaking out because they don't know what's in the cave, and we tell them it's all right. We've been in this cave before. In fact, we were here just a couple days ago. We stayed here for 3 days when we got lost. It's a fine resting place for the night before we have to continue farther. And as that happens, we will task each other with different things for the night. I will stay here and stay guard. Finland is going, and Alex are going to go and get firewood. Folix is going to go get water, and there is we'll say a stream that we passed by about down this way, so it don't take them too long. And then there's wood. We're in the woods, so he can find firewood anywhere. And when they get back, me and Gracia are preparing food with some of the rations that our parents gave us. And we will eat and all hang out and talk and learn more about each other. And that is where we will end today's session. Thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please give us a like, subscribe, share, so everyone can see our solo campaign as we slowly build up and get to all the big and exciting combats. And if you have enjoyed this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever a new episode comes out. Thank you again, and I hope you have a nice day.